I was really unimpressed, I would say, overall. I think that the people of across America and here in Pennsylvania are still asking more questions and not having gotten enough answers out of the debate.
Unimpressed with both candidates? Unimpressed with Harris, with Trump? How are you unimpressed?
I think overall on the issues, then the questions that were asked, I think we really needed to hear more about the issues that are facing Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, like violent crime, education, energy policy would have been a great avenue to talk about how inflation is impacting people, whether it be their groceries, gas, or their energy bills, and how unleashing Pennsylvania energy could be a solution to that issue.
Interesting. I mean, certainly the issue of inflation came up. Trump spoke to it a little bit. Did he not work as hard on it, that you think? I mean, that would certainly be an opening that you think he could bring against Kamala Harris.
So I think, we were diving right into the issue, I guess, here on my part, but I think overall that the former president, we know a lot about him already, right? We didn't know a whole lot about Kamala going into this debate. We know that president was a peacetime president. There were no new wars or big types of conflicts that occurred under his administration. He was able to close down the border, make sure that illegal immigrants weren't coming across, unlike what is happening under the Biden and Harris administration. And he even helped to get these opportunity zones set up for our communities that are low income and need the extra help, which have really helped bolster local economic impacts here in Philadelphia for Black and Latino communities.
Speak about violent crime as a campaign issue. Where can the president speak to that in a way that it's going to appeal and be real to folks?
Sure. Well, when you look at what Kamala Harris stands for, right? She is a prosecutor, and she's a person who has been very progressive in her viewpoints on many issues, including advocating and going and raising money to get more dollars to bail out violent criminals who are reoffenders that went out, rioted, looted, and basically burned down our cities. She, I think needs to work on that issue for herself, because standing with the defund the police movement of that is not what Philadelphia needs. We need strong leadership, people who are going to hold those criminal elements accountable for their actions.
You said that it seemed like he took the bait for some and didn't take the bait for others. So you're disappointed that he took the bait at all, I would imagine?
Well,
if that gets in the way of sort of issue discussion?
Like, I think for Kamala, she prepared for a debate, but I don't think that she is trusted to handle the economy even after it, and I don't think that she is prepared to lead the country. We needed to see more from this actual debate, and that's why I think there needs to be another one. I don't think we'll get one, but we'll see.
Why don't you think we'll get one?
I think it's because mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania, we start voting, I think, on Monday.
Sure.
So I doubt that we'll see one before the election.
Let me ask you, what's your position on abortion and reproductive rights?
Sure. So obviously, last night we saw that the president was very specific. He said that we are not banning abortions, and to kind of get that thought out of your mind, because what's happening is the political arena is really just using it as a fear tactic to garner support. And I think that's really a shame, because it is an important issue for a lot of voters out there. For me in particular, and I think for a lot of people, what we have going on here in Pennsylvania.
24 weeks.
Correct. So it's a lot of people don't know what the current law is.
Right.
We are a commonwealth that allows for abortions up to 24 weeks. Anything beyond that, there are exceptions. We allow for exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother, health of the mother, and none of that is going to change.
We'll continue with Representative White in a moment. We're back again with Representative Martina White. the legislature has now approved yet another large dose of public funding into public education, pushed in part by the Commonwealth's court view in this case. What is your view of public education? Is the state where it should be? Should there be more? Should there be an inclusion of some funding for private schools as well?
Right now in Pennsylvania, we have been placing billions and billions of dollars of the Commonwealth's taxpayer money into public education all across our state. We have also been, in particular me, been advocating for more school choice. Even though after all of those dollars being put into the public education system, we are still not seeing improvement and results that our constituents, our children, deserve. When you look at Philadelphia's schools, this whole school district, right? If you are unable to read by the time you're out of third grade, you're very likely to struggle for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. For third graders, it's about 30% who are at reading grade level. And to me, that number is unacceptable. What we have to do here in Pennsylvania is allow for more children to get access and their parents to be able to access the school of their choice that will work best for their family to get them the quality education that they deserve.
Do you think the state is where it should be on gun regulation? I know I've heard you make arguments before that the state needs to, prosecutors need to. Do you see any tinkering with gun laws that may help this in any way?
Look, we've seen a little bit of a decline in the murder or like homicides
shootings
as well
murders,
as shootings, correct.
Right.
But they're still high,
yes.
Like way too high
right.
for any major city in the nation. And a lot of these crimes involve an illegal firearm.
Right.
So these individuals are already not supposed to have a firearm to begin with. They're typically felons or reoffenders. Mm-hmm. And those are the individuals who are 30% more likely to commit a violent crime. Okay, those who are carrying an illegal firearm.
Right.
For me, it's about making sure that not only do the arrests happen, which we know are taking place because those are sky high, right? But that the prosecutor, like Larry Krasner, and unfortunately, like I said earlier, Kamala Harris is comparable, in my opinion, in terms of radical, progressive movement issue when it comes to crime.
SEPTA is raising its fares because it hasn't got the funding that the legislature would normally give it. What's happened? Where is that?
That's right. It's kind of become an issue that I feel like no one's really vying for it at the moment.
The governor says he will.
He says that he will, but
it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened, so it just goes to the effectiveness, I think, of this administration. This is not an option. It has to happen, and we have to find a path forward to get it done.
Speak a little bit about energy then in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, how prices can be lowered and there can be more access to quality energy at a lower price.
I think it would have been a great opportunity for us to, or for either candidate, to tout the fact that if we were to unleash Pennsylvania's natural gas, to unleash the energy, natural resources that we have right under our own feet, to be able to make sure that we have clean, affordable, and reliable energy, it's really a no-brainer. But unfortunately, when you have Kamala Harris saying, oh, we're going to ban fracking, how does 300,000 some odd people who work in the natural gas industry in Pennsylvania, how are they supposed to take that? You know, I think that's
she's
a
changed
major.
her position
so
now.
she has claimed to have changed her position, but the actions of the Biden-Harris administration indicate otherwise, right? Mm-hmm. They banned new LNG licenses for exporting, and that's where the real problem comes in, because we need to make sure that our grid, our electric grid, that when we go to turn on the light switch, that it actually the lights come on. And when they keep pushing we can rely on solar and we can rely on wind, it's like, okay, but those are intermittent sources of energy. We need reliable energy. Our natural gas here in Pennsylvania, when it gets unleashed, I think we can become a real powerhouse, and we'd be unstoppable when it comes to our national security, or even locally making sure we do have clean, reliable, and affordable energy.
Well, thanks for joining us on our Fox 29